Caps outsider Monday's news of Barry Trotz resigning as Washington's head coach was surprising considering the team had just won the Stanley Cup. However, as the Washington Post reported, Trotz was almost fired in November. To get a scope of this, we have to go back to the day Trotz was announced as the head coach. Trotz was named coach the same day as Brian McClellan was named general manager. Meaning, Trotz's hiring was not done by McClellan but rather by owner Ted Leonsis and president of hockey operations Dick Patrick. I am not saying the two did not get along, but Trotz was not McClellan's choice. I thought Trotz was a great hire, and exactly what the Caps needed. That was 4 years ago. Now, having seen him coach rather than just hear reports or see on ice results, there are a few tendencies I could not look past. Trotz is coaching the game like it is the early 2000s and he does not trust young players. In 2014, the LA Kings won the Stanley Cup for a second time, and the game of hockey was different. From then on, there was no longer the rough and tough NHL. The game transformed into a younger, faster game. Some teams just got left behind. Trotz was one of those people. In 2016, the Caps lost to the Penguins as Nate Schmidt sat in the press box instead of Brooks Orpik or Taylor Chorney. 1 year later, they suffered another second-round exit to the Penguins as Orpik and Alzner once again played over Schmidt. When Schmidt did play, instead of Alzner or Orpik, Brett Connolly was taken out of the lineup and the Caps went to 11 forwards 7 defensemen lineup, something they had not done all until the playoffs. If Trotz plays Schmidt, do the Caps beat the Penguins? Who knows? However, those twos exposed a tendency in Trotz that he does not trust his young players. He routinely benched them after making a small mistake. While it did work, he often scratched a young player for a reset but would not do the same this past when Oshie went scoreless for a long stretch. If he can trust a veteran to play his way out of a slump, why not a younger player too? This Trotz routinely played gritty, grizzled veterans over young players. Christian Djoos was a healthy scratch to start the year because Trotz thought he was too small. Despite scoring in his NHL debut, Nathan Walker was scratched in favor of Alex Chiasson and Devante Smith-Pelly and eventually put on waivers and claimed by Edmonton. Chandler Stevenson was beaten out of camp by guys like Chiasson and Smith-Pelly, but when called back up to the NHL, he showed he belonged. Jakub Vrana and Andrei Burakovsky were both routinely scratched and given the good old reset button. When it came to the playoffs, Djoos was scratched for the first 2 games, while Vrana and Burakovsky both saw time as healthy scratchers as well. This year, when Tom Wilson was suspended for 3 games, Trotz put Smith-Pelly on the fifth line and there was no success. In fact, it was a train wreck. What did Trotz do to fix it? Nothing. Instead, he doubled down and let the trio of Alex Ovechkin, Evgeny Kuznetsov and Smith-Pelly play another half a game, again with 0 results, before changing combinations in-game. Do we really need to dissect incident by incident of his horrendous lineup choices? Sticking with the cup win, the roles of Vrana, Stevenson, and Djoos were all forced by circumstance, and generally contrary to BT's philosophy. No guarantee the next guy has a material philosophy shift, but it wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing. Sick, unbelievable at sick unbelievable. June 18, 2018. It seems like McClellan saw this too. McClellan says Caps want someone who knows can coach current game. Says game is changing. It's almost a developmental league since players now are so young, learn on fly. ALLCAPS, Rob Carlin, NBCS, June 18, 2018. While the news came as a shock, think back to February, or November, or even last summer after another second-round exit. What were you thinking then? You were probably thinking, it's time to move on. Over the last 2 months, only a 24-game span, has your perception of Trotz and his tendencies really changed? Not really. We were just blindsided by the result.